We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. Cause Kristin knows blank.
Hello, welcome, and thank you for listening to this genre-fluid podcast that doesn't know if it's a talk show or a game show or whatever. I'm Kristin Key. I'm your host. I'm a comedian, a musician, and I'm cutting my own hair now. So this week, super exciting, a really good friend of mine and a comedian. Before we get to her, hey, take a second to like and subscribe to this podcast. And while you're at it, find me online at kristinkey.com and like and subscribe to all of my social media stuff. Then we'll all be friends and you'll find out about all the fun stuff that I have coming up. Now, my guest this week, she is a hilarious comedian. She's a writer. She's the host of the podcast Sports Without Balls, and she's a sports expert. So, hey, computer lady, play that interview with Erin Foley.
Playing interview with Erin Foley.
Hi.
Hey, how's life?
So sorry. I had like a calm week and today was so frantic, and I'm trying to suspend my frantic Friday energy and be in the zone with my friend Kristin.
You bring it in the show. You bring some franticness to the show. But it's good to see you. It's good to have you on. And I want to ask you before we go any further, you are my sports expert. So what qualifies you as a sports expert?
Well, that's a fantastic question. I guess the fact that it has run my life personally and professionally since I was about 3. I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I remember getting my first baseball glove. I slept with it for a year and a half. If that doesn't qualify me right now.
Oh my God.
But I'll give you more qualifications. I played every sport. I've watched a gazillion hours of sports. It's that crazy stereotype of like the dude's on the couch and the wife's like, when Barry's watching sports, it's like he's in a different world. He doesn't even listen to me. I'm Barry. I can testify that is something that actually happens. People can speak to me, and I'm engrossed in the play. Doesn't matter what the sport is. It's crazy. I love it. I'm obsessed.
You wonder. This is perfect. I don't think I could have found a better sports fanatic than you. And I haven't had a sports guest on yet. I think the question is maybe why? Why? Because I remember when I was a kid, I got obsessed with WWF professional wrestling during the 80s. And it became a bit obsessive for me for like, I don't know, 6 years. But you're going all the way back to like age 3. What was it about your first baseball mitt that gave you some sort of, I don't know, comfort or power? What is it?
I think it's just joy. Honestly, I think it's just... I loved playing sports, like since I was a little kid, it became so much like, that's what I love to do the most. My sister is a college professor. She was reading 24 hours. I didn't even have any female sports role models. There was tennis. That's all we had. Now it's so exciting because there's so many, women's sports are finally televised and taken seriously. So there's so many more opportunities for women, little girls to go, oh my God, I can do that professionally, which is amazing. The posters on my walls were like Lawrence Taylor. And he was, doing blow while he was the best, linebacker for the New York Giants. I had all these like crazy male like dudes on my walls, but now you can have, a gazillion female athletes. But yeah, I think it was just like, I loved it so much. And I still to this day love going out and having a game of catch. Like I gotten into pickleball. I play pickleball. Like, it's just, for me, it's like the ultimate outlet. It's such a source of joy.
When you were a kid, then, did you have someone to play catch with, or because your sister was the reader? So,
well, I had 2 sisters, and they were both not into. My twin was the runner. She kind of ran until she couldn't. Like, she did like marathons and stuff. So that's
like
how she got it.
Yeah,
she just ran. Tara read. And then I picked up anything, ironically, with a ball. But it was my dad. Yeah, my mom was actually a big sports fan too. We played a lot of badminton and a lot of tennis with her. But it was my dad. Yeah, we just, constant baseball and football and whatever we could do. Yeah, so he really got me into it.
Okay. Did you ever like when I was a kid, I'd like throw a ball up on the roof and it would bounce back down and I would catch it?
Yeah. I did. I wish we were neighbors. I did a lot of throwing the football to myself. I was my own quarterback, and I'd kind of launch it sidearm and run and catch it, begging my sisters when my dad wasn't around to play with me. And they were literally playing with Barbies, and I'd be like, "Get everybody out in the backyard! You know, we're down by 7." And they'd be like, "Please stop talking to me." But yeah, that's how ridiculous it was.
It's hard to relate to people like the girls at my school would have these, let's get together and play dolls. And I'd be like, cool. And then we'll come to my house and we'll play football in the backyard. Yeah. And they'd be like, no. And I'd be like, I did your thing. You should do my thing. Like how many times can you have your Barbies like hook up with Ken? Like this is...
What is this, porno Bobby?
It really was. It was like Real Housewives. It's like, what happened to you? Like your Barbies are real slutty.
And how many outfits? Like, I guess it's like I just could never get it. Like, they can't get me and I can't get them. You know what I mean? I'm like, you've been at this for hours. Like, fashion plates. I'm totally dating myself, but this was all 80s. Just the whole thing over and over. And then I guess I could say, well, my dad hung a tire between two trees and I pitched into the tire for probably 7-8 hours a day. So, sure. I mean, like, but I felt like that was like completely fine. We're Barbies for like 5 hours. I'd be like, what in God's name are you doing? And they're like, you're literally pitching through a tire. I'm like, yeah, but I'm developing a skill.
I'm training to become the athlete that in my head, I'll be that male athlete, even though I'm not going to be a male, but like, it's like, I'm going to be a pro baseball player. Yeah.
I'm training to have absolutely no opportunities in my future. So everybody calm down.
So glad no one told us.
Yeah. Thank you for this is going to go nowhere. But I still love to pitch. I wouldn't trade it a minute of it. I mean, I loved it. I loved it so much.
Oh yeah. So much. It's yeah. So what sports did you play like as a kid in school?
I played, I started throwing baseballs, but then you couldn't play. So a lot of softball, which was so fun. I mean, I absolutely I think softball was because my dad was such a baseball fan and, my mom grew up in Long Island. So she was New York Giants, my dad in Brooklyn Dodgers. So, they were like, enemies. And then when I grew up, we got the Yankee station. So I started watching the Yankees when I was probably 6 years old, and my dad secretly hated the Yankees, but he loved baseball, so he'd watch the Yankees with me. It wasn't until I was an adult woman that he was like, "Oh, I don't like the Yankees." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I thought you were like the biggest Yankee." It was just mind-blowing experience. But yeah, so we did a ton of softball. So softball was softball and basketball, and then whatever, volleyball, soccer, whatever I could get my hands on. But it basically went into high school being soccer in the fall. I played goalie, basketball, and then softball.
It's the seasonal. And I was going to say, I don't like stereotypes, but I love softball. And is that where the lesbians love softball thing comes from? Because we were not allowed to play baseball. It was like, that's something you can do, girl. Go hold that bigger ball. Yeah.
We didn't. I mean, there was club teams and stuff, but softball was just easy. You take a glove and you go out and play. Like it wasn't like, tennis felt wealthy, golf was wealthy. You know what I mean? So it's like softball just kind of crossed all socioeconomic. It's like just you can get a $10 glove and go play somewhere. I mean, basketball too, but basketball became my favorite. But yeah, the softball thing, I don't know. There wasn't a lot of outlets for girls back then, but softball always felt like, the outlet. And yeah, I mean, a lot of lesbos are sports ladies, so who knows?
So I want to get back to, pickleball. Tell me how you found pickleball. Cause I'm a pickleball player as well. And it was
you play pickleball?
Yeah, and so we're gonna have to play. It's a couples thing now. We're gonna have to someday socially.
This is gonna make me so happy.
Well, here's how it started. Our friend Erica visited her aunt at a retirement community in Arizona, which I think is how every good lesbian pickleball story begins. Retirement community in Arizona or Florida. She brings it to us, gets my wife into a league from all these TV producers we're playing, and my wife says, "You got to try pickleball." I'm like, "I'm not playing this." I go on cruise ships. and there's pickleball. And so my wife bought me a paddle. I take it on a cruise ship. The next thing you know, now we're playing pickleball every time we can. So did you and your partner get into pickleball?
I can't even tell you the joy I'm experiencing right now, because twofold. One, to do anything social with you and your wife, I'm so in. And two, you put in pickleball, my head's going to pop off. I first got introduced to, I played pickleball with my mom, Mary Foley. She's 84, but this was about 10 years ago. I played pickleball with my mom and her neighbors in their retirement community in Florida.
Yes.
And this is what, well, maybe this was like maybe 7-8 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, how fun is this? Right. So, but like, then I'm a stand up, I'm running around. But you know what I mean? Like, I think I played pickleball twice in the last 10 years. So then lo and behold, all right. So real short, a couple of years ago, I dated a woman. She lived in Oakland, and she played pickleball. And I was like, oh my God. So we had like wooden paddles. And we used to go down to the tennis courts in Los Feliz and play on the tennis courts. Right. So we played like half a dozen times. And then my partner, Sarah, and I, now we've been together 3 years. I was like, I know she would love pickleball. So I've been threatening to play pickleball with her for now years. Pandemic hits. We wind up, too long of a story. Let's just say this happened, living in a retirement community in Florida for 7 months.
Well, we might have to digress for a second, take a little left turn.
So we started playing pickleball nonstop because Naples, Florida is the home of the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships. And
I knew that. Isn't that gross?
There's that gross. That's awesome. So, and her dad was about an hour away, and he plays with his wife. And so we'd go up there and play. That was in Venice. We play in Naples. And so then we got like fancy rackets. So now we have like 4 rackets. And so I was like, okay, now we moved back to LA. Now we've got to figure out who plays pickleball, where you play pickleball. And like, so this is crazy. This is so awesome.
There's on this cul-de-sac down the street, the neighborhood will just like block off the cul-de-sac and put up a net.
No.
And they'll play sometimes. But I'm not in that neighborhood. So we're like trying to figure out we were like, let's get one for the driveway. But our driveway's like on a 90-degree angle. We're like, we're going to break our ankles. But yeah, I'm in.
Oh my God, this is really, it's one of these things when you start talking about it randomly, it's like when you learn a new word and then you hear the word 790 times. We were going from Florida visiting, my sister now lives in Texas because she's a professor at Baylor. And now my mom is with her. So we were there for the holidays. 2 friends that live in LA, really, really good friends. They were visiting their family in Texas, and they're like, oh, we noticed that you played pickleball because I put it on Instagram. I'm at my parents' house. We have a pickleball court. We've been playing all the time. Drove up an hour and a half north, played pickleball with them in the middle of the holidays, masked, socially distant. And I was like, this is crazy, because I just like posted on Instagram that we were playing pickleball. Like, this is what I mean. Like now we have you two to play with. Like, this is so cool.
It's such a crazy sport too, about having such a short learning curve. Anybody can play. Like, I was playing on cruise ships with like 67-year-olds that were like running circles around me sometimes with ball placement. But it's like, I feel like it's way harder to explain than it is to play. Because my parents were like, well, what is it? I was like, well, it's kind of like tennis, but with a wiffle ball, but like maybe ping pong. And there's a kitchen. My mom's like, why is there a kitchen? I'm like, you have to be there. Hang on. I'm not explaining this very well. So
that's hilarious. That's exactly what it is. It's so accessible. It's so fun. And then of course I'm like insanely competitive, and Sarah was a tennis player. So she's just naturally, all of a sudden she's slicing and running to the net. I was like, what? I thought I was going to be like the better one just because I'm like an insane athlete. And she just is like now running circles around me. I'm like, did you just slice and go into the net? Like, whatever. She's so I was always joking, like, this is my retirement plan. You know what I mean? Like, this is, let's just say I haven't had a great run saving money in the stand-up world. So I was like, I'm going to enter enter us into tournaments. And this is going to be my retirement. I mean, some of these tournaments, you can win like 50 grand.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway, so pickleball.
Little girls are going to have a poster of Erin Foley playing pickleball on their wall. Yeah.
They'll probably have one of Sarah because now she's going to kill me. But I mean, not kill me, run circles around me. But I was so into it that I started doing Nautilus at the senior community to build my upper body to play pickleball.
Oh my God. I have more to this show, but before I do, I have a quick question about, I just want to know how much sports paraphernalia you have around your house as the sports fan that you are. And I know that you live with somebody now, so has that changed? Have you had to get rid of any of your sports stuff? Okay. So she's so supportive. That's incredible. That's wonderful.
Well, in all fairness, we have some shit. We moved in, and we have some shared spaces, and I totally understand that I can't put my fathead poster of Derek Jeter in the hallway. So
I disagree. You know what? We got in a fight the other day about a Captain America trash can that apparently doesn't go with our decor. And I'm like,
oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah.
Isn't it? I think it would be the best ever. I have coaster. I mean, it would match my decor. So
I mean, it's like a leading lady superhero, right? That's the one, right?
He's the guy. No, it's Captain America. He's a guy.
Which one's the I'm so bad at my superheroes.
She's Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not that her trash can would get to be here any more than his.
Maybe you pitched to Molly Captain Marvel because it's like an empowerment thing, right? So maybe that's where you meet in the middle. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sports paraphernalia is pretty intense. The good thing is, you know, I would want to put everything out. I would want to display everything, but she has a very design. She loves design.
She has taste. That's a shame. That's a shame.
She has such good taste, Kristin. It's like, you know, mid-century modern, clean, and my style is athletic. And it doesn't mesh. So we have a garage, and my stuff is in the garage. My stuff's in the garage, but I'm accumulating it because once I get enough money to get a house, I'm going to have my lady sports cave.
There you go.
And I will be able to display all of it. Because if I just put it up now, it would look like Sarah's living with like a frat guy. So yeah. I get it. I get it. But if I could, like, what I think I'm going to do is tastefully get like a one thing, like a Billie Jean King portrait, frame it and put it over my desk. Like, I think that would be acceptable. Yeah. But my Derek Jeter cardboard cutout is like not acceptable. You know what I mean? So we have to, you know,
right.
We have
or you start with the Derek Jeter cutout and be like, oh, you don't like that? What about this framed Billie Jean King piece of art here? Oh, okay. Between the two.
My new favorite thing is to like look around and go, okay, well, on that wall, let's do, you know, we've got like a border. We could put like the entire, 2007 New York Giants Super Bowl squad. We could do just like start with offensive linemen and then defense. And she's just like, because for the first 30 seconds, she honestly thinks that I'm serious because I am in one part of me is serious, but then of course I'm just trying to horrify her. I think the running gig is horrifying Sarah. I think that's the new pandemic.
It's wonderful, and it's kind of like the Captain America trash can. It's like I know I'm not gonna get, but if I even said if I lived alone, I would have that trash. Because she's like, then live alone. I'm like, I don't want to. I just want you to know if I lived alone, I would have a much shittier bedspread, like of my choosing.
That's it. The thing is, it's like I want to lock Sarah down forever. She is literally a dream sequence. So if I have to put my sports paraphernalia on hold so our space doesn't look like some fucking, excuse my language, fraternity, I will do that. I also have like a pretty big closet that's got a lot of shelving and stuff. So I've got some of my Derek Jeter stuff in there. I've got my dad's Brooklyn Dodger baseball. I'm going to put that on my desk. So I'm going to have my little things, and then just, universe, job, money, lady, sports cave. Because she said I could put it all in one room, and if I can close the door. So I'm like, all right. So that's
I like that. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
Got your SI football phone.
But the thing is, then if I have the space, like I don't order anything, I don't buy it, you know what I mean? I just buy like small things here and there. Then it's just going to be like, oh, it's on. New York Giants Super Bowl blanket. Yes, that will be displayed. That's in a piece of luggage in the garage.
It's time for
5 quick questions.
I have a game called 5 Quick Questions, and it's to test your expertise at your topic of choice. Today it is sports, so I'm going to test you as a sports expert with 5 quick questions.
I'm nervous because I feel like I know a lot, but what if I don't know these answers, and then everyone's going to be like, you don't know your sports?
There's the rub, Erin.
Okay.
And I will give you a hint. Today I chose female sports icons. Just to narrow the field a bit. Okay, question number 1. Which female athlete holds the most Grand Slam titles in singles, doubles, and mixed doubles?
Steffi Graf. Or is it Martina?
Williams. Serena Williams.
Oh, because you put in mixed and you put in doubles.
Singles, doubles, and mixed doubles. Question number 2. Only 22 years old, she has won the most gold medals of any female swimmer in history. Oh, can you name her?
Katie Ledecky.
Yeah. I'm a huge Katie Ledecky fan. She's my background on Facebook for a year. I started swimming like every day after watching her in the Olympics.
No way. That's amazing.
So I was like, I'm going to get that back in those shoulders.
She's also just like a class act. And then she went back to Stanford to swim, and she's absolutely wonderful. I love her so much.
Okay, question number 3. Regarded by many in the sport as one of the greatest women's tennis players of all time. From 1959 to 1983, she won 39 Grand Slam titles. Can you name this woman?
59?
From 1959 to 1983, she won 39 Grand Slam titles. One of the greatest women's tennis players of all time.
Well, I want to say someone, but I don't think it's that. I'm going to go because it's 59. I'm going to go with Billie Jean King.
It is Billie Jean King. Correct. All right, so you are 2 for 3 right now. Doing very well. Ooh, this is another Olympics question. Question number 4. In 1976, this Romanian gymnast became the first gymnast to be awarded a
Nadia Comaneci!
That is correct.
Nadia Comaneci lives in Oklahoma.
My parents live in Oklahoma. I wonder if they know her. No. Nadia
Comaneci is married to Bart Connors, the phenomenal Olympic gymnast in his own right. They have a gymnastics academy in like Oklahoma City or something, because I've been obsessed to like interview her. I'm like literally obsessed with her. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow, I did things you don't know about Oklahoma, and I know a lot.
I was like, yeah, I didn't know your parents were in Oklahoma. Where are they in Oklahoma?
They're outside of Tulsa in Broken Arrow.
Oh, I know Tulsa. I did like a random gay comedy show in Tulsa, and I was like, Tulsa's adorable.
Tulsa's it's a bright spot in that area.
Yeah,
and they have
really
a thriving gay community there.
Yeah, we need to team up and do a Tulsa show.
Let's take Tulsa. Yeah, stay with my parents. They have 2 fluffy cats. That's why my wife's never met them. Let's just say it's because they have 2 fluffy cats. Question number 5. Can you name this 3-time Olympic gold medalist who was the first woman signed to the WNBA?
Oh, Rebecca Lobo.
No, Cheryl Swoops.
Oh, Cheryl Swoops was the first one. I thought it was Lobo.
I wouldn't have got that one if you
know what it is? I answer too quickly.
You're 3 for 5. You still
know, but that's
solidify yourself
embarrassing. It
as
should
an
be
expert.
5
It's
for
not.
5.
It is okay. You're okay.
First Nike contract, Cheryl Swoops had her own shoe.
Wow. See, you make up for it giving me fun facts.
I'm
Here's
giving
what
you
here's what I
post-fun
do know
facts.
about Cheryl Swoops. All right. You've hung in for an interview with me. You played trivia with me, and it's my favorite part of the show, and that's where I get you to do a Rad Lib with me. And now it's time for Rad Libs. Have you ever played a Mad Lib?
Not in a long time, but I always enjoy them.
Okay, well, this is a lot like a Mad Lib, but I wrote it, and I don't want to get sued by Mad Libs, so we call it a Rad Lib around here. And I wrote it specifically for you. What happened is, I've written this story, I've left out some parts of speech. If you give me those parts of speech, together we're going to create a hilarious story. Are you ready to play Rad Libs?
Yes, Rad Libs. I love this.
Okay, this is great. Okay, I need a number.
Okay, 4.
I need a feeling.
Jealousy.
This is going to be fun, I can tell. An adjective.
Bright.
Crime.
Poisoning.
It works really well. I need a disaster.
Sinkholes.
Have you had a lot of trouble with those?
I'm obsessed with sinkholes. Literally obsessed. It's unbelievable. Like, you're just walking along and then all of a sudden you're 20 feet below the surface. Sinkholes are insane. It's an insane phenomenon.
I need an article of clothing.
Shorts.
An exclamation of disagreement.
Never.
That's a really good one there. That really fits. A body part.
Kneecap.
A verb ending in ing.
Hopping.
An adjective ending in er.
Prettier.
Ooh, a plural noun. It could literally be anything.
Toupees.
Ooh, yeah. A deity.
Confucius.
Something delicate.
Lace panties.
Excellent.
I thought of lace, and then what more horrifying word to put it after than panties?
Oh my god. So descriptive. This is going to be a good story. A verb.
Bark.
Ooh, an animal.
Kangaroo.
A food.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Why?
I have one every day. I'm obsessed with hard-boiled eggs.
Every day. How? Oh my god.
When Sarah makes them, probably.
This is why we're friends, because my wife teased me all the time. She's like, you're like an old person. You're like living with an old person. She's like, what do you have every day? I have a hard-boiled egg every day. Every night we're watching TV. It's about 9 o'clock. I go, I don't care what time it is. I'm having peppermint tea. Like I'm partying or something. A noun.
Mansion.
A family member.
Like their name, or just a
I don't make the rules. There are no wrong answers in a Mad Lib.
Cousin Chad. That's my cousin's name.
I was assuming.
Well, you know, Chad is such a crappy name, but my cousin is so sweet.
An award.
Best cheerleader.
An embarrassing moment.
Walking into a glass sliding door.
And we have a story.
I'm so excited.
I am too. This may be the best story ever written. Rival teams. Ah, damn it. I forgot to redo it. It's not rival teams. It's halftime talk.
Ooh, halftime talk's even better.
Yeah, usually I show it, and I show the title, and I changed it last minute today. It's halftime speech. Just as good.
Just as good. Better.
Great
better.
story. I was like, just as I started to read, I was like, that's not rival teams. Halftime speech. All right, team, it's halftime. We're down by 4 points. I know you're feeling jealous. We've had some bright luck this year. First, when our head coach was charged with poisoning. And then we lost our star player because of those sinkholes.
Oh my god.
Well, team, does that mean we should just hang up our shorts and walk away? Never!
It's perfect.
You can still turn this thing around if you pull your kneecaps out of your asses and start hopping.
Oh my god, I love this.
I know the other team out there is bigger and prettier than we are. But we have something that they don't have. Toupees. And I swear by Confucius, we are gonna use them. We may have walked into this locker room a bunch of lace panties. But when I open that door, I want you to bark like the bunch of caged kangaroos that you are.
That totally works.
You go out there ferocious and hungry for hard-boiled eggs. You run out that door together because there's no I in mansion. Except for that I.
Except for randomly has an eye. That's fine.
I swear on my cousin Chad that we can and will go home with that best cheerleader trophy. And one day, you'll tell your grandkids about the time that you and your team walked into that glass sliding door.
Oh my god, that was so much fun.
Well done!
That was awesome, and some of it totally worked. Oh my god, I really needed to laugh. That was awesome. You pull up your shorts. You came in here a bunch of lace panties. That probably was my favorite.
Tell our viewers and listeners where they can find you and what you have coming up.
A couple things. Website is erinkfoley.com. Instagram is, I think it's Erin K. Foley. Twitter's Erin Foley Comic. You can get all that stuff off my website. And then I do a monthly show called Gays Are Us. I've been doing it live from the Hollywood Improv for, God, over 10 years. And so I put it online in September. So we've done 4 shows and they've been so much fun. The next show is Wednesday, February 3rd. And your favorite hostess, Kristin Key, is headlining. I'm so happy you're on the show. It's a great lineup. And I'll post a link on erinkfoley.com, and you can get it off Twitter, Instagram.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate you doing it.
Oh, it's so fun. I love a good themed podcast, and all the pieces of this podcast were just so fun, and you're an absolute delight.
Interview complete. Dropping Erin Foley down a sinkhole.
Thanks, computer lady. There's something seriously wrong with her. Big thanks to Erin Foley again for coming on the show. What a great time. And guys, thank you for listening. Again, if you like this podcast, please take a second to like, subscribe to it, leave us a comment, write us an email. I'm Kristin Key. You can find me online at kristinkey.com. Like and subscribe to all of my social media, to my YouTube channel. I'm on Cameo. So if you want a shout out or if you want to make somebody's day, hit me up on Cameo. Each week, I'll be bringing you another hilarious comic with 5 quick questions and a Rad Lib. Until next time, bye.
We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna talk to some people, gonna learn a lot of stuff. 'Cause Kristin knows